everybody, and welcome back to my model Minneapolis St. Paul International Airport. We're back for another airport update here. The fall service changes are now in swing here for Delta, which most of them are pretty unfortunate actually, because it means that we don't get to use as many aircraft. And I guess I'll kind of go over what has been happening for the most part here. So we've been getting a whole lot more A320s. We're already getting a lot of A320s this summer, but now they've added even more A320s, it seems like. So that's tough because I don't have an A320 model for Delta. It's one of the only Delta aircraft that I don't have a model for, which kind of sucks because it's flying here so often now. And now they have also taken away the A220s for the most part. We're not seeing a lot of them except for like Chicago and Austin are really like our last two A220 routes here. There are probably a few more, but most of our A220s are gone. The 737-800s that we had for a few months are gone now. So I got those two Delta 738 models, and now they're just going to be 737-900 substitutes. We'll see that later in this update. But yeah, that's kind of disappointing because we did have a very diverse lineup of aircraft here in these MSP updates for a while, and now it's downsized again to pretty much A320s, A321s, and 737-900s in terms of mainline, and then for the regionals we still have CRJ 200s, 900s, E175s. I'm looking forward to that Gemini E175 release a lot. That one will be big. But yeah, we're seeing a lot of CRJ 200s, which I thought they'd be gone by now, but Delta's hanging on to them. They're still flying here. So I guess that's good for them, but I don't know about passenger experience. I suppose it does mean I can keep using these models and not have to flood the airport updates with a bunch of Shapeways custom CRJ 900s, because if they do replace them all with CRJ 900s, then we're going to have a whole lot of CRJ 900s here. I might have to get another order of Shapeways, but we only have two CRJ 900s in today's update, which means I don't have to use the Shapeways. But anyways, enough spoiling the rest of the update. We'll get into it right here with these three CRJ 200s. Our first, to the left of your screen, we'll get it focused in on that one. That is these are all SkyWest operated, but that one is the newer Gemini just released CRJ 200. This one came in from Brainerd, Minnesota, and it will be heading out to Aberdeen. And then in the middle here we have another SkyWest operated, of course, CRJ 200. This is the 2016 Gemini release, I believe. And this one is in from Iron Mountain, and this one will be heading out to International Falls. And then finally here on the right of your screen we have the last of our CR2s, and this one is in the Comair Retro. And this one is in from Hibbing, and it will be heading out to Sault Ste. Marie. So yes, a nice trio here of CR2s for Delta Connection. We'll see how long these stick around. I keep on thinking that they're going to be gone by the next update, but they have stuck around here all summer, and now even moving into the fall months. It's not fall yet, and I'm kind of dreading fall, but they're still here. So good to see that Delta is continuing strong with them, I guess. I don't like I said, I don't know if that's really good or not, but they're still here, and they're still making their presence known. They've been pretty big in these airport updates, actually, and so yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say for the CRJ 200s. We'll see how long they stick around, and I keep on thinking that it's just gonna be one day that they're gone, but nope, they're still here. So SkyWest is sticking with them. So they're sticking with Uniteds as well. Of course, they don't operate American CRJ 200s. Those are Air Wisconsin operated in Air Wisconsin. That's pretty much their entire business, operating CRJ 200s. I wonder what Air Wisconsin's going to do once American wants to get rid of those, because I can't imagine it'll be too long. But since they just started operating them, I guess maybe they'll stick around for a while with American. But we'll see what happens with them. But that doesn't concern us in this update, so I guess that will be a story for another time. And now our final two aircraft here in the A concourse. We have two more RJs, of course, CRJ 700 on the left of your screen. These aren't too common here, but this is a different routing here. I wonder if this is going to be a new thing. This one came in from Indianapolis, Indiana. and I believe that used to be on a CRJ 900, so that's interesting that's on a CRJ 700. As for the most part, we just got CRJ 700s from Chicago Midway, maybe Grand Rapids sometimes, but mostly just Chicago Midway. But this one came in from Indianapolis, and then now we'll be heading out to Chicago O'Hare, which is a big surprise. Um, I don't know why. That's normally an A220. Wow. But yeah, that's interesting right there. I guess this particular flight. Well, let's look at Flight Radar. It's just on that one day that it's doing a turn from Chicago, and then other than that, DL3758. It just does Memphis turns from Minneapolis to Memphis. But this one is on September 17th. Forgot the time frame again. It's 12:30 on Sunday, the 17th of September. It just does turns from Memphis, but then today it did a turn from Chicago. I don't get it. I don't know what's happening with that CRJ 700. That's weird. But anyways, next to that one we have this CRJ 900 right here. Of course, the Gemini Jets 2021 release. I can't believe I forgot that. That was March 2021. That's like the most iconic Gemini Jets release up to this point. Maybe not, but yeah, March 2021. That was a great release. Included this aircraft. I didn't get it then. Paid like 2 times what I could have paid for it. Get it later. But anyways, this one is operated by Endeavor and came in from Cincinnati, and it will be heading out to Madison, Wisconsin. And then here we have the more exciting CRJ 900. I would say somehow we can beat the March 2021 release with this one, which was the whatever 2008 release. I don't remember the month. The Comair Delta Connection CRJ 900, the 30 years of flight Comair livery. And this one also operated by Endeavor. This one came in from Cincinnati as well. That's 2 Cincinnati flights for both CRJ 900s, which is kind of funny. Just an hour apart from each other. So this one also came in from Cincinnati, and this one will be heading out to Des Moines. So that's very fun right there for these 2 Endeavor CRJ 900s. So those are the only CRJ 900s in this update, which is rare, because normally we have like 3 or 4. So this one, we only have these 2, but they work like a charm as always. Then up next here we have my Shapeways Custom Delta Connection E175. This one is operated by SkyWest. This one came in from Fargo, and it will be heading out to Louisville. So this is our only Shapeways aircraft, my only Shapeways Custom in this update. And I mean, that's probably a good thing, because this is my best one, considering that I stole a template from online and then plastered it on this aircraft. And that's why it looks better than my other ones that use Sharpie. So maybe I should have done that with those, but this one looks great. Very proud of how this one turned out. But once Gemini Jets releases theirs, then this aircraft's probably going to be turned into something else. And I know I've said that, I've teased at that for a while, but it's likely what's going to happen with this one. It'll be turned into another airline. And I think I know what that airline is, but you don't know what that airline is, so I'll have you ponder that until Gemini releases that one, and then until I turn this one into something else. But that is the plan, to turn this one into another airline. But I don't know which one it will be. And then next up here we have another SkyWest E175. Well, this is an E170 in the old Delta Flot wavy gravy colors in motion livery here. So this one operated by SkyWest as well. This one is in from Pittsburgh, and it will be heading out to Cedar Rapids, Iowa. And then next up here we have this Delta A321neo. And this one is in from Seattle, Tacoma, and is currently pushing back, and it will be on the return flight heading back out there. We are getting some more Neos here, which is good to see. So yeah, I love the A321neo, and looking great right here once again. We are getting them now from Anchorage, and I saw one coming in from somewhere else, and I don't remember where it was. It probably was just like LAX or Atlanta. They're still not like super popular here, but Anchorage is a new destination for the 321neo, and that used to be on a 737-900, so that is good to see. Glad that Delta is expanding their A321neo coverage. And then here we have the Delta 717-200 here. This one is in from St. Louis, and it will be heading back out there. Rare turnaround here for the 717. Don't see many on that type, but that is what this guy is doing right here, and that will conclude the C concourse. Now moving in to D. Then here we have the Delta A321 in the thank you livery. This one just arrived in from New York LaGuardia, and then this one will be later making the flight out to Denver. And we have a pretty empty econ course today, and of course the one American Eagle E175 that parks here is at like the one gate that I can't reach well with the camera no matter what. So, and could I have conceived of the creative liberty to move it to get a better shot? No, because that would be unrealistic. So we're looking over the shoulder of the terminal right here for this American Eagle E175 powered by Envoy, which came in from Washington, D.C.A. and is on the turnaround. We'll be heading back out to Washington, D.C.A. or Reagan National. And then finally here in the econ course, our only new model in today's update here, we have the Alaska 737-800 in the Salmon People livery. So yes, this is great to get in here. The actual aircraft was just in the regular Alaska livery, but as I said in my unboxing, this is my first Alaska 737-800 model, if you can believe that. I have two 739s and a MAX 9, but this is my first 738, so this one will be used in place of the 737-800, so here it is right here. This one came in from Seattle, Tacoma, and it will be heading back out there, turn around for this beautiful 737-800. I mean, love to get this in the good lighting right here at MSP. I mean, let's just take a moment to just look at this beautiful aircraft right here in all its glory. I mean, it's just a stellar livery, and a great job by NG of representing it here. So glad that I picked this one up, because it just looks fantastic right here. Yeah, great to get this one in the update for the first time. And then now moving into the F concourse here, we have this Delta A319. This one arrived in from Pasco, and it will be heading out to Kansas City. Airliners International 2024 alert. I'll be on this flight, not on this aircraft, or well, maybe I'll be on this or an alternative Delta alternative, but I will be on Delta likely. Most likely I'll be on Delta, and so that'll be very exciting. And so yeah, excited for Airliners 2024. Already thinking about that. Long ways till that. Well, not super long ways till then, but still more than half a year till then. But it's never too early to start thinking about it. So I'm making plans to be there. And at least one of my modes to get to Kansas City will be on a Delta Airlines flight or going from Kansas City. We'll see what happens. But it will be on Delta. So that's exciting. Probably not on the A319 though. It'll either be on a 717 or an A321. Not really quite sure which one. Probably a 717. But we'll see what happens. We'll just see what flight I get on. But yeah, that's very exciting. And surprisingly, as someone who lives in Minneapolis, I don't fly on Delta very often. Normally not my decision. It's just that Sun Country is cheaper in every scenario. So I fly on Sun Country a lot. And not that I like that. It's just that that's what happens. So very much looking forward to Delta. And I also, about my Chicago trip, because that is also a thing. And maybe by the time you're watching this, I have bought my tickets to Chicago. As of right now, I have not. I'm waiting for the prices to drop, because they could, like any day. So I'm either going to fly on United or Delta. I know I said the last time I would be on Delta, but since they're the same price as United, it's really just whoever drops it first, because I mean, it could be any time, really. The price fluctuates a lot, so. But it's looking at like the trends. It's looking like it's going to be United, unless Delta comes with like a miracle drop. In which case, I'll fly Delta. But if United does it first, then I'm going to buy it pretty much right away. So we'll see. I'll inform you on which flight I take when I do buy the tickets, but for now, that's all the information that I have on that. But yeah, well, I guess long story short, we'll see which flight I take, but I will be flying to Chicago. We'll finally move on from this aircraft now. And we'll move on to the beautiful United Express E175, one of my favorite models here, actually. This one is operated by Mesa Airlines, and this one is currently taxiing out for the flight out to Washington Dulles. I also took that flight, so that's kind of cool. And yeah, this one also arrived in from there. This one is on the turn to Washington Dulles. Next up here, we have this American A319 with sharklets. The actual aircraft did not have those, although I'm using this one just because the actual aircraft wasn't the regular livery, and I don't want to, flood the special liveries here. I kind of want to keep them a little bit special every so often. Of course, I kind of use the Alaska in this sense, and I use the Team USA Delta A330-900 a lot in place of a regular Delta A330neo. But I will be getting a Delta A330neo in the regular livery that is coming soon. So that one, that's a model that I'm definitely going to be getting. So stay tuned for that. That one will be coming. But once again, a story for another time. This one is arriving in from Philadelphia and on the turn back out to Philly. Then over here, we have this Delta 737-800 in the SkyTeam livery, and this is filling in for a 737-900. As I said, I am now having to use these 737-800s in filling in for 737-900s, as I only have 2 of those, and I have these 2 737-800s, and I might as well use them for something, so here they are. This one is in from Portland, and it will be heading out to Phoenix Sky Harbor or Red River Aviation's airport. And now a backlit KLM 787-9 moving into the G concourse now, and not off to a great start here with like I said, the backlit KLM 789 here, but here it is, and it came in from Amsterdam Schiphol, and it will be heading back out there. So good to see that this aircraft's back in another airport. I feel like it's been a while since I included it, but also I feel like I included it in a lot of updates. So I'm not really sure, but it's back here once again. It is a beautiful model, and KLM, of course, they have a gorgeous livery. So glad to include them whenever I can, and here they are once again. So good to see KLM back here in the flesh, and yeah, this one will be heading on the turn from Amsterdam, of course. And then here we have our Delta A330-300 here, gorgeous model by NG Models. Very big staple here in these MSP updates, and it is here once again. So should have gotten used to seeing this aircraft a lot, but it's here once again. And this one is in from Paris Charles de Gaulle, and it will be making the flight out to Amsterdam Schiphol now. So that's great. And so yeah, 2 Amsterdam Schiphol flights in a row. And we love to see that here on the MSP Aviation channel. Eventually I'm gonna make my way out to Amsterdam. I'm gonna go there at some point. Not sure when, but I want to go to Amsterdam. And now here we have this Delta Team USA A330-900neo. This one is in from London Heathrow, and it will be heading back out there. This one is filling in for an A330-200, as I do not have that one, and that's a pretty rare model. So we're going to use a 330-900neo here. It's still an A330, so it will do in its place. So yeah, like I said, this one is on the turn from London Heathrow. And now we'll get into our lineup of 5 Delta aircraft here to conclude this G concourse. Well, technically 6 if you include the Team USA 330-900. But now we'll have 5 narrow-body aircraft to 5 in a row here to conclude it. So on the bottom of your screen there, we have the 737-800, which is filling in for a 737-900, of course. And this one is in from Salt Lake City, and it'll be heading back out there, turn around for that guy. And then next to that one, we have this Delta A321 here. This is the 2017 release by Gemini Jets. So that's looking great right here. Still works like a charm in these updates. It just doesn't have a SATCOM dome, so that is, I suppose, a little bit unrealistic to the modern times, but it still works great in these updates. This one is in from Orlando and also a turnaround, so a double turnaround action right here with these two. This one will be on the turn back out to Orlando. And now to conclude our Terminal 1 lineup here, we have these final 3 Delta aircraft. We have on the bottom of your screen the Delta A321. Once again, the regular livery. This is the 2019 release by Gemini Jets, or is it 2020? I don't know, this is 2019. This one came in from San Diego, and it will be heading out to Atlanta, or Citrus Aviation's airport. If you would like a subscriber out, please put it down in the comments. As long as it's realistic, I can do it. And I'll do it. I'll apply it to any of my airports if it is realistic to that airport. I mean, if you have a European airport and you have a flight to Riga, and I'll do a subscriber route for Riga. I've been looking to get some more subscriber routes, so if you would like one, please comment it. But that is what this Delta A321 is doing. Behind that one, we have this 737-900. This one is in from Las Vegas, and it will be heading out to Los Angeles. And then back there, our last aircraft here came in from San Francisco, and will be heading out to Las Vegas. That one is also a 737-900, the NG models version. Yes, I'll conclude Terminal 1 here, but we still have a whole other terminal to go, so we'll cut to that one. But before we do so, we have another aircraft that is, well, you'll see it in just a moment here. And yes, landing here, we have the United 737 MAX 9, a gorgeous model by NG Models right here. So glad that I picked it up at Airliners. It has proved to be very useful here in these MSP updates. This one has just arrived in from Denver, and it will later be heading out to Newark, New York. So great to see right there. Newark, self-promo moment, I guess. Newark is one of my new airports here on the MSP Aviation channel. So we're going to introduce that one to the lineup here. So just posted my update. Well, actually, by the day I'm recording this was the first update came out. So that's pretty cool. And expect more from Newark. Very excited about that airport. So yeah, welcome Newark to the channel. And this one will be heading out to you. Me, Newark, what? And now we'll move in to the promised Terminal 2 lineup here, beginning with the Southwest Airlines 737 MAX 8. This one is currently pushing back for the service out to Denver, and previously arrived in from Chicago Midway. And now into our beloved sun countries. Beginning here, we have this Sun Country 737-800 with split scimitars in the Tide Pod livery. This one is in from Nashville, and it will be heading out to Tampa. Next down here, we have this 40 years of flight Tide Pod 737-800, and this was the actual aircraft alert 842 Sierra Yankee, and that is the actual Gemini jet model right here, so that is great to see. This one is in from Fort Lauderdale, and it will also be heading out to Kansas City. And then we have our 737-800 here in the old livery. This one is in from Orlando, and it will be heading out to Seattle. And then finally, we have the Transavia Hybrid 737-800. This one is also filling in for a 4 years of flight sticker 737-800. And this one is in from Charleston, and it'll be heading out to Traverse City. So that will conclude our Terminal 2 lineup. We have one more aircraft to get to right here. It is also Sun Country, but it's not the Sun Country that you'd think of. And of course, it is the Sun Country Prime Air DLC. This will be our final aircraft in today's update, the Prime Air 737-800 operated by Sun Country. This one arrived in last night from Lakeland, Florida, and it is now getting loaded up. It'll be making the service out to Fort Worth Alliance. And yes, that'll conclude our airport update today. So nice little mix-up of airlines today. I mean, it's the usual airlines. I guess we didn't really mix it up, but we did get one new model in here, so that is good to see. But also we got in all the classics, of course. And so yeah, these MSP updates always going strong right here on the channel. Of course, the flagship airport of the MSP Aviation YouTube channel. Love to see it. So yes, this will be our final aircraft today. So that'll do it for our airport update of my Minneapolis St. Paul International Airport. Thank you all for checking this one out. I hope you enjoyed this airport update, and I'll see you tomorrow. And as always, good night. Auf Wiedersehen.